Hey, welcome back YouTube. It's your boy CJ, Staff Sergeant D, with another episode of Getting to Greatness. Today we're going to have a story time about why I joined the Army. Some of you were asking me why I joined the Army, and it was so long ago that I don't even think about it sometimes, but I thought about it a little bit, decided I could give you an answer, so this is the best way to do so. Before we get started, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like and comment, and let me know what you guys think. How to start. So it was a long time ago. When I was in high school, I was in the Marine Corps before I joined the Army. Some of you might not know that. Some of you may. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps from 2001 until 2005. Yeah, 4 years. So within that time, I was in the Marine Corps band. I was stationed out in 29 Palms, California. Something interesting, I was actually supposed to ship the week of 9/11, 2001. But when the Twin Towers crashed, we didn't end up shipping until later. So I actually shipped 1 week afterwards. September 17th was the day I went to Marine Corps boot camp. A lot of other friends were going to college at the time, but I decided that the Marine Corps was where I wanted to be and could teach me some valuable lessons about life. And I didn't want to go to college and waste anybody's time. So I enlisted into the Marine Corps without telling my parents. Yeah, I skipped school and I went down to the MEPS, got my physical, signed up, and then I came home and told them that I joined the Marine Corps. They didn't really even believe me to begin with, but they had to believe me after a certain point because it was true, and I ended up joining the Marine Corps. I enjoyed my time there. Parasailing, I was in 3rd Battalion Blue, Mighty Thunder, out in the middle of the swamps, nowhere where to be found, nobody to save us. Drill instructors gave us a lot of hard, tough love, but it made us better Marines, I think. 3rd Battalion definitely, 3rd Battalion Parasailing definitely produces the best Marines. I was Lima Company, 3rd Battalion, Platoon 3108. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. I graduated boot camp December that year, went home for recruiter's assistance, and I got to spend a little bit of time there. And then I went to Camp Geiger and Camp Lejeune, where I was able to do Marine Corps combat training at the School of Infantry there and do some times. Crazy story about that. So I'll save that for another time. So fast forward to 2006, I got out of the Marine Corps, got my first job. I worked at a tire warehouse, and I don't really like to do that kind of stuff, and I smelled like rubber every day, so I only ended up working there for a couple of weeks because I didn't want to smell like rubber and the tire chips and all kind of other stuff. And then I got hired as one of the supervisors, and the rest of the guys there, they didn't like that I was so young. I was only 22 at the time, and I came in and got hired over them to be in charge of them. And they had been with the company for 10, 11 years, some of them, and they used to do like little petty stuff to kind of get on my nerves a little bit. But the final straw was when I had to end up driving up the mountain. So if you guys don't know, I'm from North Carolina, like the foothills area. Well, we used to distribute tires to the whole Piedmont area, like everywhere in the foothills of North Carolina. And I ended up having to go to a place called Boone, North Carolina. Well, at the time they were trying to fix the roadway up there. It is fixed now. The roadway has several lanes, but back in the day, it wasn't that many lanes. So for certain parts of the day, in order to do the construction, the road was closed. So I had to go the long way in the snow, driving all the way around this place called Taylorsville, up Wilkesboro, and all these crazy country places, like in the snow, to get to the top of the road. And so while I was up there, obviously, like I said, I had got out, and I had only been working a little bit, so I didn't even get a check yet. So I'm sitting there, and I stopped at a Wendy's to get food. I dropped the tires off. I stopped at the Wendy's to get the food, and while I was at the Wendy's, I sat there and I was like, when I get back down this mountain, I'm gonna quit working there. I'm not gonna be stocking any more tires or doing anything like that, because I'm done. I'm gonna tell them I'm quitting on the spot, and I'm not gonna come back. So I get back down the mountain, I tell them, hey, I'm not coming back tomorrow. This is over. And the guy, he tried to get me to stay. He tried to work with me and whatnot, but I already made my mind up, and I was like, I'm not coming back to this place. Even when I went to pick my check up like the next week, he still was like, okay, yeah, I want to keep you, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't going to happen. I was finito, done. So the next spring comes around. So that was still like the fall of 2005. The spring 2006 rolls around. I start going to college. I went to a community college back home in North Carolina. It's called like Catawba Valley Community College. Anyway, I really enjoyed being in college. Like the classes were pretty easy. I had pretty good teachers. I got to do one cool trip, the Southwest Adventure. We went out to the Four Corners area, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico area, and did some exploring, seen Mesa Verde, went to Pueblo areas and Navajo Reservation. And I learned a lot of good things there, a lot of good interesting things. The summertime, I went to school full time. So then the fall comes, and during this time, me and my wife, we reconnected, and I wanted to marry her, and I didn't like being a broke college student. So I joined the Army. And that isn't the only reason. I mean, I wanted to serve my country, but the Army was a good bet. I thought about going back into the Marine Corps, but at the same time, I didn't really like being in the band. That's a whole nother story. I liked playing music, but I didn't really, the way the people were, I didn't like interacting. I didn't like being in the unit with the people that I was in the unit with. So the Army gave me more options as far as different jobs I could pick, which is a big plus. If you're thinking about joining the military and you don't know which branch to go into, in the Army, there's a wide array of things that you can do. If you score high enough on your ASVAB and you get a good score, then you will be able to do plenty of things in the Army. We have a wide array of jobs. I mean, from chaplain assistant to medical, you can be a nurse or military police like myself. The infantry, if that's what you're into, you can be a helicopter pilot or mechanic. You can do a wide array of things. Come in as an officer.